Hi again in project Battle Helper. This is part 4, and part 4 is about creating auto mouse clicker and all its options. The task: build auto clicker to simulate mouse clicks and give an option to choose from. Hold left mouse button, hold left and right mouse button, single left click and single right click, and allow the user to set the time intervals between single clicks. I have two classes related to auto mouse clicker, and the first one is register global hotkey and the second is mouse operations. So let's have a look on the mouse operations first. In the mouse operations we have specified all the mouse events. So there is 4 constant values: mouse event left down, left up, right down, right up. And I have created methods for each of the necessary options to give to the player. So single left click, single right, hold left, release left, hold left and right, release left and right. There is 6 regions here related to auto mouse clicker. Let's go first to the perform click region. This one is related to handle window hook. So each time the window hook is called, which means the start hotkey, current start hotkey or current stop hotkey is pressed, the pick start action is called or picked stop action is called. Let's go and have a look on the last 2 regions. The region setting click repetition and time interval for logistic tool. There's one method here, click repetitions. The purpose of this method is very simple. So if the user decided to use the left click or right click, okay, and let's say it happens every 3 seconds, number of mouse click repetitions, so it is set to endless. So technically it should never end, but this works in the loop, and we don't want the loops to work in endless, right? We want to finish at some stage. So if user can go to settings, and by setting up this value here, this will give him a little bit of a control even if he go to endless. It's just a huge number he will remember, right? Or not remember. And this is when the click repetitions combo box that selected index equals 0. Alright? So this option, this value here will be only inserted when the logistic tool over here is set to endless. Otherwise, click repetitions equals click repetitions combo box dot text, and this is converted to integer and simply one of these. So 7 converted. So that's the click repetitions. And the next region here is setting time interval between clicks. So this one is related to the logistic tool again, and we can choose left or right click. And there is time interval method that takes combo box seconds and tenth of a seconds, which is seconds and tenth of a seconds, right? Just quickly show you, there is not, user is not allowed to put 2 zeros, okay? The smaller time value between clicks is 0.1 second, and it will go back. And then what this method does is it sets click intervals, okay, equals second that selected index multiplied by 1000. Why 1000? Because this is the milliseconds, right? That's how we specify the, I think, time value in the C#. So second selected index multiplied by 1000. So whatever gonna be here, selected index is 11 or 5 in this case, multiply by 1000 gives you 5000 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds. And tenth of a second, work in similar way, but it multiplies by 100. 100 millisecond is a tenth of a second. Setting tab control index and radio buttons to true or false. Okay, this region is setting the tab index and the booleans hold left, right, single left, right to true or false. The reason I want it done is because I want to know which tab is selected and which radio button is selected in order to perform the operation that is set. So First we have a method get tab index that takes a tab control tab. A tab index equals tab that selected index. And then we have get radio button engineer tab, which is this tab here, okay, and it takes the radio buttons. And depends of which one is checked, we will set the value of the booleans, and same for the logistic tab, which is over here, and logistic tab. So thanks to that, we know which operation we wanted to perform. And then operation top for tab control index 0 and 2. Alright, so there is one method here. Sorry, two methods. First will be pick start action and the second is pick stop action. So we're choosing the pick start action first depending on which tab index we are. Which means if we are on the 0, we go for the 0, and case 2 is 2, simply 2. So there is no operation to pick from if we are in target locator or settings. Simply nothing will happen, okay, so we are safe. And then in the tab index case 0, if the hold left equals true, okay, and in this case it equals true because we are setting the value of this boolean to true by selecting it, then mouse that hold left, and this one is taken from the mouse operations. Else if hold left and right equals true and then mouse hold left, same for the tab index 2, single left and single right. However, over here we have a method single left with loop and single right with loop, okay, and this one was not specified in the mouse operations. So let's have a look now on the operations for tab control index 2 with loops. Okay, so first of all, how is it gonna work? So let's say the user chooses to click left mouse button every 2 seconds. So every 2 seconds this will run, okay, but how to turn it off? And in this situation I have encountered well, not the application crash, but I wasn't able to turn it off. And that's why in the while loop here as a condition we have a while start equals true, okay. Now at the very beginning start it was false, but when we are starting it, then the start equals true and I is less than click repetitions. Then mouse single left, I++, so to increment the I. And then this is the solution for being able to change the start value to false, so we know that this while loop will not run. What I did, I used the async and await, so I marked the method as async and same for the single right with loop. And then in await, I'm telling it to wait that much time to perform another click, but only if the start equals true. This await happens in the other thread, okay, which means the main thread for the application is still active and we are still able to perform operation and we are still able to change the start to false. And that would be everything about the auto mouse clicker in part 4 of project Battle Helper. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to see the full code for auto mouse clicker, please go ahead to the GitHub. The code is free to have a look and use. And if you like my work and you would like to contact me, you can use the email shown on the screen. Thank you very much and goodbye.